Shabbat shalom. Just testing the microphone. We've got a few minutes. Tell him hi back at him. All right, Shabbat shalom, everybody. And hopefully everyone picked up a booklet that says Shabbat Shalom Holocaust Remembrance Service. There you go. So tonight, it's got a little bit of a somber feel to it because this past Tuesday was Yom HaShoah, and we are commemorating it this evening. We are remembering those that perished. So we begin with silence. The silence of death, the silence after destruction. There are times when songs falter, when darkness fills life, when martyrdom becomes a constellation of faithful against the unrelieved black of space about us. There are no words to reach beyond the edge of night, no messenger to tell the full tale. There is only silence. The silence of Job, the silence of 6 million, the silence of memory. Let us remember them as we link our silences. At this time, I would like to ask Marissa to come up and kindle the 6 candles that you see in front of us, 1 candle for each million. There will be 6 million that we will be remembering with those candles. Thank you. We kindle these lights in memory of the 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators. May the memory of the righteous be for a blessing. And let's read together, Blessed is the match. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Blessed is the heart with the strength to stop its beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. And that was written by Hannah Senish many, many, many years ago. At this time, I would like to ask Emily Chamberlain to come up and kindle the Shabbat lights for us, at the bottom of the page. I think my striker plate needs to be refurbished. Just light it with the other candle. And let's gather in the Shabbat light all together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, Emily. And now in the middle of page 2, Ani Ma'amin. This is a version you maybe haven't heard before. It was written by a friend of mine, Steve Dropkin, and it's really a beautiful rendition of this. And if you know it, please just sing it along with me. Ani Ma'amin Be'emunah Shalema Ani Ma'amin Be'emunah Shalema B'viat HaMashiach Ani Ma'amin Ve'af al pi sheyitmamea Ani Ma'amin. Im kol zeh Ani Ma'amin. Im kol zeh Ani Ma'amin. Im kol zeh בחלום אני מאמין בכל יום שיבוא אני מאמין. אני מאמין באמונה שלמה. אני מאמין באמונה שלמה. And those words say, I believe with complete faith in the coming of the Messiah. And even if he tarries, I believe. With all this, I believe, and I will wait for him all the days of my life. And those words were what kept many of the people going through all of the things that they were experiencing. Those words, ani ma'amin, I believe. I believe in the sun even when it is not shining. I believe in love even when feeling it not. I believe in God even when God is silent. And that was found on a cellar wall written by someone who was in hiding. At this time, all who are able, please rise for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. And now we read the Ma'ariv Aravim in English, and then we'll do a response, or in Hebrew, and then we'll do a responsive reading. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bidbaro Ma'ariv Aravim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim uvitvuna meshaneh itim umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hachochavim b'mishmerotehem Barakia kirtsono, Bore yom v'layla, Golel or mipnei choshek, v'choshek mipnei or, Uma'avir yom umevi laila, Uma'avdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El kai v'chayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu lam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We read responsibly. Our God, creator of the universe, we come before you in the darkness of evening with memories of a terrifying night. Together, a night which did not pass, a day which did not dawn, a time when the earth was a planet gone bloody. A night when countless numbers of our people were tortured and murdered. Oh God, listen to our memories, the nightmares of our longest night. Take notice of the long night of suffering when you seemed so distant. From Torah we seek hope for our lives, and Theresienstadt we would assemble in the darkness to light a candle there, or even a match would have brought immediate disaster upon us. We spoke about matters of the spirit and eternal questions about God, about Jews in the world, about the eternity of Israel. In the darkness, I sensed a light in the unlit room, the light of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And on the next page, the watchwords of our faith, the Shema. And these are the words which, in addition to Ani Ma'amin, kept our people's faith, kept our hopes alive. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. In the middle of the page, let's join in the chanting of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol levavcha uv'kol nafshecha uv'kol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derek uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukashartam leot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uktavtam amezazot beitecha uv'isha'arecha leman tizkadruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeheti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. After our people endured unspeakable suffering, God redeemed us and saved us from total destruction. Excuse me. A remnant has survived. There is new hope for the Jewish people. A remnant has returned to the land of Israel. Jews all over the world rejoice in their heritage. May you soon fulfill your promise of redemption for all the world. Praised are you, Redeemer of Israel. And we sang together the song we sang after we successfully crossed the Sea of Reeds. I know what's going on with my throat tonight. Michamoka. This is the one that we're going to echo back. It's a little bit more sedate, I guess it is, for this evening service. So just echo back to me when it's appropriate time. Nohora, Tehilot, Oseh, Vele, Nohora, Tehilot, Oseh, Vele, Micha, Mocha, Va'elim Adonai, Micha, Mocha, Nedar B'Kodesh. Let's read the bottom of page 5 together, Hashkivenu. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And on page 6, all who are able, please rise for the tefillah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Let's read this English section together. Open my lips and I will praise you. You are our loving God, the God of our ancestors. You set the journey of the soul and the cycle of nature. You are sacred. Your name is holy, endowing us with intelligence, calling us back to you, repentant, forgiving us, redeeming us, healing us, regenerating resources, ingathering our communities, reinstating justice, subverting antagonists, rewarding the righteous, rebuilding Jerusalem, revitalizing us with redemption. Hear this prayer. Restore your presence among us. For our lives and our souls, we thank you. Bless us and establish everlasting peace throughout the world. May my words and my heart's longings fit your desires for me, Adonai, my rock and redeemer. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. The top of page 5. Today is a gift, oh my God, to know your world, to receive your blessings. Rock of ages, your works surround us, daily signs of awe and wonder, daily guides to joy and service. Bless me with the hands of strength, a heart of courage, a mind of understanding. Bless me with a voice of praise, a life of gratitude, days filled with hope and love. And in the middle of the page, we offer our prayer for peace. And we ask God to grant peace to all corners of our world, in places where there is no peace. And we always think about Eretz Israel at this time, asking for peace to come to that land. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amecha, Tasihim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amecha, Tasihim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon, L'kol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, L'kol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amecha, Tasihim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amecha, Tasihim Le'olam. B'tov beinecha levarek et Amecha Yisrael, B'kol hate u'v'kol shama b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amecha, Tasihim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amecha, Tasihim Le'olam. Tasihim Le'olam. Tasihim Le'olam. At this time, just take a moment or two to pray the thoughts and prayers of your heart to the God of your understanding, and then we will join in singing Oseh Shalom together. say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, va'imru. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, va'imru. So normally right here we would do the Torah, and I was going to do that tonight, and then I decided not to. But it's interesting that this week's Torah portion, it's a double portion, Mitzorah and Tazria, which the whole premise of this is talking about purity. And that was, if you remember, so it's the one Torah portion that I always hate to have students pick, or the date that I hate to have picked, because it's really pretty disgusting. And Gemma's brother, Jude, that was actually his Torah portion, so if I'd have known, I would have had him come and read it. But really what these two Torah portions are talking about are about purity. And I think it's almost very poignant that this Torah portion happens around Yom HaShoah, because that was sort of the point of all of it, is they were trying to purify the world by getting rid of the Jews and the Gypsies and the Catholics and many, many, many other marginalized people. So I just decided I'm just not going to read it tonight. I just don't feel like reading that tonight. But we do want to remember all of those that we feel close to that are in need of healing, healing of body, healing of spirit, and perhaps today they are in need of both. God, grant your healing power to all those in need, to those whom I know and to those unknown to me. God, grant your comfort and consolation to all who grieve, those whom I know and those unknown to me. Holy One, bring a swift end to suffering and strife, and heal the world with your steadfast love. And we are thinking of the following in our community today: Larry Rodriguez, Matt Moore, Robin Shapiro, Mindy Sugarman, Amy Eichenbaum. I know you told us to take you off the list, but you're still on my list for one more night. Cheryl Mendelson, Hannah Creviston, Nate Green, Andy Kaplan, Gerda Stokler, Leonard Whitty, Shira Natanya Bat Yochebed, my dear friends Roxana Sylvian and Sherry Crockover. If there are other names that you wish to add to this list, please say their name aloud at this time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. We keep, were there anybody on the, okay. We keep all of them in our thoughts and prayers. And we sing Adonai, Refuah Shlema by Rachel. Adonai Yishlach, Yishlach Lahem, Refuah Shlema. Adonai Yishlach, Yishlach Lahem, Refuah Shlema. Refuat ha-nefesh, Refuat ha-guf, Ben Omar, Amen. Refuat ha-nefesh, Refuat ha-guf, Ben Omar, Amen. Well, Shabbat Shalom once again, everybody. So today, we pause. We pause from the noise of daily life, from the routines that fill our hours, to stand in a place of memory. Today is our observance of Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Martyrs and Heroes Remembrance Day, a day commemorating the day which the Jewish people and people of conscience around the world have set aside to remember one of the darkest chapters in human history. Yom HaShoah falls on the 27th of Nisan in the Hebrew calendar. This year, the day was observed on April 14th, this past Tuesday. We are observing it on this Shabbat. It's not simply a date on the calendar, it's a sacred obligation. The word Shoah means catastrophe, a word that barely describes the enormity of the event. It also can mean utter destruction, which more closely, to me, resembles what the event was. Between 1933 and 1945, 6 million Jewish men, women, and children were systematically murdered by Nazi Germany and its collaborators. Entire communities, their languages, their laughter, their traditions, their futures were erased. And one of the things I decided to do tonight was we have an empty chair sitting on our bema with a talit around it to remember all of those that were unable to celebrate Shabbat any further. And this next week, we have a bar mitzvah who is going to remember a distant cousin of his, a little girl that never made it to her bat mitzvah, and her picture will be on that chair surrounded by that talit. And I just thought it was appropriate to leave it there for this evening's service. The Holocaust was not only a Jewish tragedy. Roma and Sinti people, which are a small group of ethnic people of Indian descent who had settled in Germany, Slavic and Polish people, people with disabilities, Soviet prisoners of war, Jehovah's Witnesses, Gypsies, many Catholics, and those persecuted for their sexual orientation were among its victims. There were many other groups of people marginalized as well. Millions of lives extinguished by a regime built on hatred, ideology, and the indifference of bystanders. We remember them all. One might ask, why return to this darkness year after year? Why not let the past rest? The answer is that memory is not passive. Memory is an act of resistance. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs of blessed memory wrote, "There are cultures that forget the past, and there are cultures that are held captive by the past. Jews do neither. We carry the past with us. Those fragments of memory help make us who we are." To remember is to say to every victim, you are not forgotten. Your name still matters. Your life still matters. The world must know what happened to you. And to remember is also to say to ourselves, this must never happen again. It's worth pausing on the full name of this observance, Holocaust Martyrs and Heroes Remembrance Day. The Israeli government deliberately chose a date that honors not only those who perished, but those who resisted. The date of the 27th of Nisan was chosen in connection with the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising of 1943, one of the most remarkable acts of defiance in modern history, when Jewish fighters, vastly outmanned, outnumbered, outgunned, and everything else, but they rose up against their Nazi oppressors. They knew they could not win militarily. They chose to die on their own terms as an act of human dignity. Their courage is part of this day. Heroism lives alongside mourning. In Israel, Yom HaShoah is a national day of solemn reflection. At 10 o'clock in the morning, air raid sirens sound throughout the country. Work stops. Cars pull to the side of the road. People walking in the streets stand still. For 2 minutes, the entire nation stands in silent attention and reverence to the victims. And if you've ever experienced it, I've seen it on a video. It's chilling. It's chilling. It just chills you. And I think about that all the time. At Yad Vashem, Israel's Holocaust Memorial and Museum in Jerusalem, 6 Holocaust survivors light torches, one for each of the million Jewish lives lost, just as we did here this evening. Wreaths are laid, prayers are recited, speeches are given by the president and prime minister, flags fly at half-mast. Communities around the world hold their own ceremonies of remembrance. Candles are lit. Sometimes names are read aloud. Survivors share their testimonies. And increasingly, as the generation of survivors ages, we take on the responsibility of carrying those stories forward ourselves. Tonight, we at Temple Israel lit 6 candles as a remembrance. We remember too. You know, and sadly, I think we only have one Holocaust survivor still left in our congregation, Gerda Stokler, who will be 103 in June. And she still remembers, and she talks about it. She's got stories. She's fascinating. We are living through a moment of particular urgency. The generation of Holocaust survivors, the living witnesses, is passing from us. Each year there are fewer people who can look into our eyes and say, I was there. I saw it. It happened. This is not a reason for despair. It's a call to action. As Erwin Kotler, founder of the Raoul Wallenberg Center for Human Rights, has said, may this Yom HaShoah be not only an act of remembrance, but also an ongoing commitment to act on behalf of our common humanity. The events of the Holocaust did not begin with gas chambers. They began with words, with dehumanization, with scapegoating, with slow normalization of hatred. The Holocaust Memorial Week of Remembrance exists precisely to remind us of the deadly consequences of allowing bigotry and hatred and indifference to become normalized. Never again must not be a slogan. It must be a way of living. So what does remembrance ask of us practically? It asks us to learn, to read the testimonies, to visit the memorials, and engage with the history, not as a distant horror, but as a human story with lessons that speak to our present. It asks us to speak out. When we see hatred, when we see dehumanization, when we see the early signs of the patterns that led to genocide, we must not be silent. History does not repeat itself automatically. It repeats itself when people choose silence. It asks us to honor survivors while they are still with us, to listen to their stories, to hold their memories as a sacred trust. It asks us to pass it on to our children, to our communities, to the next generation, so the flame of memory never, never goes dark. Yad Vashem, the name of Israel's Holocaust Memorial, means a monument and a name. It comes from the book of Isaiah. I will give them in my house and within my walls a monument and a name, an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. That is what we do today. We give them a name. We give them a monument in our hearts. We remember the 6 million. We remember their names, their faces, their dreams. We remember the heroes who resisted. We remember the survivors who rebuilt. And we make a promise to them and to ourselves that we will carry this memory forward, not as a burden, but as a light. Zikronom Levracha, may their memory forever be for a blessing. And now, on page 11, all who are able, please rise as the ark is open for the Elenu. And let's just read this together. In the anguish of the Shoah and in the deliverance of the remnant, we seek you, our God. In the light and in darkness, we affirm that you are our Creator, the one who walks with our people through history, the one with whom we walk through our own lives. You are the one in whom we place our trust, that you will remember the hopes of the slain by redeeming your shattered world. You are the one in whom we place our trust, that in spite of everything which strangles hope, you will help us to continue the sustaining song of their lives. You are the one who strengthens our efforts to bring peace and justice to the world. You are the one who strengthens our resolve to keep our people alive. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shema echad. And it is said, and it will be that God will be ruler over all the land. On that day, God will be one, and God's name will be one. You may be seated. The Kaddish Yatom. We have lived in numberless towns and villages, and in too many of them we have endured cruel suffering. Some we have forgotten, others are sealed into our memory, a wound that does not heal. 100 generations of victims and martyrs, still their blood cries out from the earth. And so many at Dachau, at Buchenwald, at Baba Yar, and what can we say? What can we do? How do we bear the unbearable or accept what life has brought to our people? All who are born must die. But how shall we compare the slow passage of our time with the callous slaughter of the innocent cut off before their time? They lived with faith, not all, but many. And surely many died with faith, faith in God, in life, in the goodness that even flames cannot destroy. May we find a way to the strength of that faith, that trust, that sure sense that life and soul endure beyond this body's death. They have left their lives to us. Let a million prayers rise whenever Jews worship. Let a million candles glow against the darkness of these unfinished lives. Today, remember the over 6 million Jews and others that perished at the hands of the Nazi regime. Holly, are you able to come up and sing There Are Stars? I think that would be an appropriate song for tonight because we think about the 6 million stars that are above us. We're going to sing that, and then we're going to read a very special Kaddish prayer. Oops, excuse me. Go ahead.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their face. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember.
We are thinking of the following, whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose death occurs at this time. We are in Shloshim for David Schefter, the brother of Linda Schefter. We are also remembering Rochelle Hay, Paul Portnowitz, Millie Alpert, Harry Slater, Harriet Elizabeth Diamond, Ella Weisberg, Bert Spielvogel, Fanny Fishkin, the grandmother of Jeff Fishkin, Bernard Abraham Berman, the father of Terry Berman. Alan Victor, the brother-in-law of Sarah Jane Victor. Arthur Addis, the father of Julie Locke. Alan Krupp, friend of Skippy Lober. And Leah Carlin, the mother-in-law of Phyllis Carlin. And we remember the 6 million Jews and all the others who were murdered. We think of them at this time. If you are in mourning, actually, I think we should all rise tonight. This is a special Kaddish prayer. It's very difficult to do, but it should be. Okay? Just try to work with me, okay? Yit Gadal, Auschwitz. V'yit Kadash, Lodz. Shemei Rabbah, Ponar. Be'alma, Divra Hirute, Babayar. V'yamlich Malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye de kol beit Yisrael, oh no, ba'agalah uvizman kariv, Janowska, v'imaru, amen. Yehei shemei rabba mivarak le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak, v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam, Viet Naseh, Viet Hadar, Viet Aleh, Viet Halal, Shemei Dekudashah Barichu, La'ela, Min Kol Birkata Vishirata, Tushbakata Vanechamata, Da Amiram Be'alma, Ve'imaru, Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim aleinu ve'al chol Yisrael, v'imaru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al chol Yisrael, v'imaru, amen. Zikronom levracha, may their memories forever be for a blessing. You may be seated. I would like to do a final tribute. It's this song is called Treblinka. It was written by a friend of mine named Laura Berkson, and it talks about the pines and the willows that people talked about at the camps. And it's a song that asks who has planted them. And I've sung it before, and if you want to kind of join in with me, it's pretty easy to do, but let's just try to sing it. Who has planted the willows where the pines grow so tall? Who has planted the willows? Who has planted them all? Who has watered the willows in this forest of stone? Who has fed them with weeping so the willows have grown? Forest of stone, oceans of tears, and the whispering willows will sing in the angels' ears. I've always heard that the pine is the one with stories to tell, murmuring secrets of so many nameless who fought here and fell. My heart find her wings spanning future and past through another's heart song. And everyone around me heard moans in the treetops, the strangest voice singing along. Who has planted the willows where the pines grow so tall? Who has planted the willows, who has planted them all? Who has watered the willows in this forest of stone? Who has fed them with weeping so the willows have grown? Forest of stone, oceans of tears, and the whispering willows will sing in the angels' ears. All right, at this time, I'm sorry, this is such a somber night, but we are going to have some announcements. There are some fun things coming up. So Jeff, would you like to come up and tell us about some great things that are coming up?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Wonderful service, Rabbi. Also, one of the great things after the Holocaust, for those who, and we didn't mention this right now, was from those ashes grew the state of Israel. And to this day, that state is strong and is fighting anti-Semitism, those who want to destroy us. And our job is to keep that nation as strong as ever. So yes, the horror of the Holocaust, but the aftermath was the creation of a great nation. And hopefully it'll stay a great nation for hundreds of more years. Okay, tomorrow morning is Torah study, 9:30 in person and Zoom.
Yeah, we get to talk about Metzora and Tazria.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Oh, by the way, the ONEG today is sponsored by Monica Fishkin and Jeff Fishkin. Can you please stand up? Where's Jeff? Oh, okay.
It's Monica's birthday, that's what we're
Birthday.
celebrating. So we're celebrating a happy occasion
Yes,
tonight. Even though the service is a downer, at least we have a happy occasion.
Yes, exactly. So, and there's a lot of good cake there. Two types of cake, a chocolate and a carrot cake. So, a lot of good stuff. Yes. Okay, religious school meets on Sunday from 9 to 12. On May 17th, there will be an open house for our religious school, parents meeting, and teen organization meeting from 10 to 12, along with a barbecue, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. If you know of anyone in the community looking for a religious school for the Jewish children, have them contact Rabbi Karen or encourage them to attend the open house. Next weekend is the bar mitzvah weekend of Zach Cannon.
Yep.
The ONEG will be sponsored by the Cannon family in honor of this event. All are invited to the bar mitzvah on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. May 1st at 5:30 will be our end of the year family Shabbat with barbecue. Oh, another barbecue.
Yeah, we got 2 barbecues in May, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Good kosher meat, I promise you.
Jerry, we need to talk, by the way. My grill master.
At 5:30 and service at 6:30. The ONEG will be following the service in honor of our dear friend Rose Schoenfeld, who will be sadly leaving our temple family, soon to move closer to her family. We will miss her.
We will, Rose.
And we saw her house during our time of looking at homes. Beautiful home. And it was on our list.
There you go.
On May 9th, we will be celebrating the bat mitzvah of Gemma
Schmallenberger, she's here with us tonight, yeah.
Raise your hand.
Yeah,
So good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, coming right up.
Okay. Other than that, if anyone has any other announcements, all have a wonderful Shabbos.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
Shabbos, Barbara.
Thank you, thank you. So as part of, since we're in the days after Passover, we're counting the Omer. And we are on day 16, 2 weeks and 2 days. So I'm going to do the blessing and just a little bit of a reading about that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom shisha asher yom shahem shnei shavuot ushne yamim la Omer, which means today is 16 days, which is 2 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And this particular day is Givorah Shabbat Tiferet, discernment within the heart. Cultivating the strength to live what is true even when it is difficult. We notice the joys, pain, and challenges of our hearts, letting it rise without judgment or shame. The shining through of whatever is true brings healing. And one thing that you can do to take note of this is take notice of what hardens your heart and what allows your heart to soften. Say these verses for yourself and for people in your life with whom there is need for healing. You can say, may my or your heart know happiness. May my or your soul know joy. May my or your whole being dwell in trust. And Rabbi Karen Kadar says, beware of fear. Do not permit our perceptions of what is true to be based on a habit of fearful impulses. Do not speak if there is fear in your heart. Your words will lack clarity and precision. They will not be wise, nor will they be compassionate. Better to keep silent. Do not allow your strategies, actions, or plans to be driven by fearful assumptions. So that is our Omer for this evening. And our closing song is about not fearing. Adonai li velo ira. God is with me. I shall not fear. Sing with me. Adonai li velo ira. Adonai li velo ira. Adonai li velo ira. Adonai li velo ira. And as we leave each other this evening, let us remember all the good we have in the world and treat each other with kindness. If we disagree, but we can be kind. Always share kindness as if we're a challah made with love. Shabbat shalom. And now let's go gather in our social hall for cake and celebration. Something happened.